everybody. This is Kyle with Grooves Reviews, and this episode of Grooves Reviews, we're going to be talking about the Justice League. The Justice League has been out for about a month and a half, almost 2 months now. It came out November 17th of last year. They actually had a really good cast with this movie. I was going in not expecting much, and I got a lot more than what I actually expected. The time of the movie's kind of short. It's only 2 hours long, which Batman vs. Superman, the PG-13 rated version, was 2.5 hours long, and the director's cut was almost 3 hours long. So I don't know if they're going to do a director's cut for this movie or not. Actually, I don't even know when the Blu-ray is going to be coming out. Screen Rant said that it was going to come out March 13th, but I haven't been able to validate that anywhere else on the internet. Amazon still says that there's no release date yet. Best Buy says there's no release date yet. Walmart, Target, basically all the main retailers that you would buy a Blu-ray at doesn't have a release date for the Blu-ray, so that's still up in the air. It's probably going to be sometime in March, early April, I would say, just because of the length that it's been out already. And the cast, they did very well. Ben Affleck as Batman. I actually like Ben Affleck. I think he does a really good job as Batman. I wasn't expecting that going into Batman vs. Superman, or his short appearance in Suicide Squad, or coming into this movie, but he did a really good job, unlike Daredevil, where it was just awful. I don't know why he's doing so well as Batman versus Daredevil, but he pulls it off. He does a really good job. Ray Fisher plays Victor Stone, or Cyborg, and I think him as an actor did a good job as Cyborg. I think the special effects that they used for Cyborg looked a little wonky to me, so that's, for me, that's one of the down parts of the movie. I think they could have done a better job with the special effects for him. And then Ezra Miller plays the Flash, or Barry Allen. I don't think I like him as much as Grant Gustin, who plays the Flash in the series. I think Grant did a better job in the series, but I think he's had more time to play the Flash, and I don't know if Ezra's like come into his groove yet or anything like that. I think he will if they give him, some more chances. He was really, really funny. I think the Flash was probably the highlight of the movie for me. He was really funny. He did a lot of stuff. And there was one part of the movie where him and Superman were supposed to save these people, and you see the Flash, and he's just pushing his truck, and he looks over, and Superman's carrying an entire building full of people. So that was really funny. Jason Momoa as Aquaman, he did a really good job. I like Jason Momoa. You might recognize him from Game of Thrones. He plays Khal Drogo, or he played in the remake of Conan the Barbarian. I think just like big, strong parts really suit him, but then he's also really good in like dramatic roles and stuff like that. Now, Gal Gadot played Wonder Woman, and she did fantastic. Just like in Batman vs. Superman, I think the standalone Wonder Woman film is probably the best film that DC has put out for their extended universe so far. J.K. Simmons plays Commissioner Gordon, and the last time I saw him in a comic book movie, he played J. Jonah Jameson in the Sam Raimi trilogy of Spider-Man, and I think he does a good job as both of them. He did a really good job as Commissioner Gordon in this movie. Jeremy Irons played Alfred, and Jeremy Irons is fantastic in everything he's in. I don't think I've seen a bad movie with him in it. And then Joe Morton played Victor Stone's father. Joe Morton is the guy from Terminator 2 who was part of the company that was building like all the cyborgs and the technology, and that's what let them take over the planet. So I like seeing him in different things, and he's really recognizable. He was in Eureka as well. But I think they did a really good job with like the soundtrack of this movie. I know that Zack Snyder had Junkie XL, who was doing the soundtrack for the movie. But when Joss Whedon took over, he fired them and hired Danny Elfman, which Danny Elfman has been doing music for the Tim Burton movies forever. And he's done a lot of other stuff, and he's just a really good composer, and he kind of knows like what goes with what themes and stuff like that. So I think they did a really good job with that. Zack Snyder was on the movie until March of last year, and then after the unfortunate passing away of his daughter, him and his wife decided to step down, and that's when they hired Joss Whedon to take over and finish his project. Which Joss Whedon, you know, we all know him from Firefly, and I guess that little movie Avengers and Avengers 2. So he's kind of been around. He does a lot of stuff, and I think he's a very fantastic director. And if they have him for the second one, I think that the second Justice League movie will do a lot better than the first one. I think just having two different directors kind of puts a halt on things. And, you know, Zack Snyder probably had one vision for it, and then Joss Whedon came in, took over, and he had a different vision for it. So hopefully next time, if they have Joss Whedon, it'll be a really good movie. If they have Zack Snyder, it'll be a really good movie. But I'm kind of in favor of Joss Whedon doing the second one. So we'll see. We'll see about that one when it comes out. All of the people did a really good job as a team up. I'm kind of excited for the second one. Hopefully they bring in the Martian Manhunter, and hopefully they bring in Green Lantern. I know that Ryan Reynolds tried the Green Lantern thing, and that was supposed to be the start of the DC Extended Universe, but after it failed phenomenally, then, you know, they kind of had to step back and be like, okay, what do we want to do this time? And then they used Superman in Man of Steel, Henry Cavill, and he took over as like the start of the DC Extended Universe. I know that there's supposed to be a standalone Aquaman film come out sometime this year. As we all know, Wonder Woman, that was a fantastic movie. And then I don't know what's going to happen with the Flash standalone movie, because last time I heard it was canceled. I'm still not sure if they have to figure out what they're going to do and what's going on and stuff like that. But overall, I'll give this movie probably a 7 out of 10, just because there were some things in it that were kind of strange. I think they kind of they jumped into it, and then everything was happening, and it kept cutting back to one thing and going to another thing, and kept going different and different and different. So I don't know if that was like Zack Snyder's vision and then Joss Whedon's vision, and Joss Whedon was just kind of trying to fill in the blanks. But, you know, overall, it wasn't a terrible movie, and it was better than I actually expected. I just think that it could have been better than it was. But when it comes out, I would definitely say, if you haven't seen it and you're a fan of comic book movies, I would rent it at least. And then, you know, the sound was really well done. The visual effects were okay. They could have been better in my opinion, but for the most part, they did really well with them. The acting was done really well. Like I said, the Flash was probably my favorite character in the movie, just for how funny he was and how well he did. But I'm just hoping that the second one is better than this one, because I'm actually a really big fan of the DC universe, and they can do so much with them that they could be making movies for the next 200 years, and they probably never run out of stories. But this has been Kyle with Grooves Reviews. I hope you like it. Hit that like button, hit subscribe so you can stay up to date on all my other reviews, and I will see you guys on the next episode.